about to do my leg workout. I've just done a 10-minute warm-up on a max trainer, similar to a cross trainer. Get the heart rate up, get a bit of a sweat on. I'm going to do 50 parallel squats as a bit of a pre-workout warm-up, and then I'll go into the main part of my leg workout. I'm not specifically doing it for hypertrophy. It's more of a muscle endurance routine with various exercises in there. Some of them are for higher reps, some of them a little bit lower reps. But really what I'm trying to do is just increase my heart rate, because leg workouts are going to be the best way for me to strip body fat off my belly, really. So I'll just try and hit it with a relatively high intensity. I'll try and increase the reps, certainly on some of the exercises from last week. But the warm-up, I'm going to do 50 parallel squats just to warm up. That will remain the same as it always has done. So I'm going to get into it now, and yeah, this is more just documenting my own approach to trying to get in shape for my holiday that's coming up in August. It's the 20th of May as we're recording this. It's 11 o'clock at night, so a little bit late, but hey ho, I have my banana, have my coffee, so that's my pre-workout. I've done 10 minutes warming up, and let's get into it. Feeling a little bit sluggish, but we'll see how we go. All right, I'm gonna get the music on. That definitely warms the legs up. All right. Right. I'm now going to do 5 sets of, again, bodyweight squats, but I'm going to try and go a bit further down, and so deep squats, and I'm going to use a heavy resistance band between my legs just to add a little bit more emphasis on the movement, and it means that I'm more focused on driving my knees wide so that they don't collapse in. You definitely don't want that when you're doing squats. The further out you can get your knees, the better. Well, if you couldn't see that, that's where you want to be driving up. You definitely don't want to be here as you're pushing up. You will damage your knees badly. Right, I've got 5 sets. Last week I did 5 sets of 30 with a 1 minute rest between sets, and I found that tough. So dependent on what I do on the first set, that will be the number that I do for each of the sets And I'm thinking 35 reps a set with a minute rest in between sets. This is week 5 of this phase of my training. Ooh, I've got a spider climbing up here. Let's put him over here. There you go. And each week on week, I'll just try and increase the intensity on the workouts. This workout is going to get my breathing pretty heavy. I'll get rid of the bench, don't need that at the moment. And I'm going to use my heel risers because I find it enables me to stay more upright with my torso as I drop down into the hole at the bottom of the movement. It takes some pressure off my lower back because I've got 2 bulging discs, both of which are severely compressed as per the MRI results I got, and they had been causing me a bit of nerve pain, but that seems to have dissipated with the workouts I've been doing over the last sort of 8 to 10 weeks. I will just do these just to take a little bit of the strain off the lower back. I'll pull the band up just above my knees. Could be right on the side of your knees, but I like it just above. And I'm going to put the timer on my computer so I know that we have 1 minute rest periods. Let's stick to that. Okay, the online stopwatch is going. I'll take a quick glance over once I finish the first set, and then it'll be a minute from that point. Right. 35 reps. Let's see how we go. Right, that was on about 1 minute 32. I didn't start right at the beginning when I set the timer off, but once it comes around to 2:32, I'm already dropping down again. Always remember, make sure you keep hydrated. Very important. My breathing is definitely pretty high already. Heart rate 142. So technically my max heart rate would be 175. It's 220 minus your age. So work it out. Alright, get prepared. And let's go. I think that's 35. Got to be said, sometimes I do lose track of the reps. I think the timer was on 3:43. Now it's on 4:04, so 40 seconds. 144 heart rate. I'll do one of the sets where I face forwards so you can sort of see form on the knees, but for the next 2 sets I'm just going to stick where I am. Right, 3, 2, 1, go. .149 heart rate. It's good to breathe in through the nose on a couple of the breaths. I think I've got about 20 seconds, I think. Right, set 4 coming up. Tweaking my knee on the 6th rep of that last set, but fingers crossed we're good. 2, 1. .801 on the timer. It says 146 on the heart rate, but feels like it's more. Right. Yeah, did I mention I've got 2 bad knees as well? I've got a lateral tear, the meniscus on the left knee, a long time ago, but it never really healed properly. And what they call patella tracking problems on my right knee. had a double knee arthroscopy 10 years ago. Didn't make the blindest bit of difference. Right, 10 seconds. Right. Drive those knees out. '51. Oh, jeez. If your exercise is comfortable for you, then you're not working hard enough. Increase the pace. Oh. All right, that can come off. Oh. All right. Okay. All right. So that's those reps done. 5 sets of 35 reps. Minute rest between. That is the key part of that leg workout I've done. If that's all you did, and that's all you got time for, well, it took me, what, just over 10 minutes to get those squats done. Do a 10-minute warm-up on like a cross trainer or something like that, on the bike, rower, whatever your particular fancy is. You know, a slight hill on a treadmill. And then you just did that. Man, that's going to be a decent workout. It's going to do a lot of good for your body, as opposed to not doing something like that. So it may seem like a lot of reps. Just don't start with that many reps. But each week, week on week, try and like sort of progressively overload the movement. So just keep adding reps. Obviously you can add weight as well. I just don't do that because of the compressing effect it has on my body. And really, I want to maintain my mobility, not mess it up. I've got a lot of years of experience, so I know the sort of things that actually are going to cause me problems. So I'm just staying away from them. Back squats, weighted, is one of them. Right, now, put those out of the way, sip of water. I'm going to go into hip thrusts. Just body weight. It's not that I can't put weight on there. I can do if I want. I can get that barbell, put some weight on the end and do the hip thrust. That's not really the issue. It's when I've done the hip thrust and I'm trying to get that weight off me, and I'm either sort of like shifting back up the bench to try and get into a position where I can sit up and then stand. It's all that wriggling sort of movement that has shown signs that it can tweak my back. So I just don't bother putting any weight on myself, and I try and just focus on squeezing those glutes and hamstrings as much as possible at the top of the movement and just doing it for reps. So I'll say the key part of the workout are the squats. So as long as you get some really good squats in, then the rest of it is a bit adaptable as you go. Just deal with it as you see fit. Last week I did 3 sets of 25, Probably just going to do that today as well. Right. Okay. Just supporting my upper back. Squeeze the glutes. Time. Okay, I'll try and keep it a minute rest between these sets as well. Get a towel. Yeah, if you're not sweating, you're not working hard enough, because the legs, the biggest muscle group in the body, demands the most oxygen when you push them. So your heart rate will go up, pump all that blood into those big muscle groups to oxygenate them so you can continue working. But with that, you will start sweating because you'll be heating up a lot. Oh, try and keep that sweat from going in my eyes. Right, that album is finished. Let's see. I think that's 7 seconds. It's probably safer getting up like that rather than wriggling back on the bench. Whew. Whew. Yeah, at the top of each of those reps, I'm squeezing my glutes, holding it for a second before going back down. Breathe out, exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. I've completely forgotten what the timer said when I finished. I've lost track of it. Give it another 30 seconds. Okay, let's do this. well, I think that's 25. Right, next exercise is going to be banded lunges. So I'm going to fix a band onto this bar. It's the anchor point. I shouldn't go anywhere. I'm going to move this bench out of the way. Lovely. I'm going to take one of these resistance bands. Thickness. Put it in the middle. Alright, tie it over the bar. I'm going to get a little knee pad to put on the floor. Something like that will do. This one, I often find that my balance isn't great in the first couple of reps, but hopefully after a couple of reps we'll have it dialed in. Right, body weight. Body weight is the first set. Only do 12 reps each leg. Step in, place that band behind your knee. Step back, make sure it's in the right place, and try and keep your torso upright as you're dropping down. You don't want to be leaning forwards as much, if you can help it. And again, with your knee, you're trying to keep it outside of your foot. And straighten that leg out on the up. It's alright to slow it down if you feel your balance is going. Reps. Once you've done the first set, the band seems to be a bit stretchier after you've done the first one. So you might want to step back a bit further. You can do. Keep it relatively similar as the other leg. Twelve reps done. Now, I mean, you can adapt these things as you go. If you want to just do body weight, that's fine. You can start on a different rep range. You can do it with a different tempo. It's up to you. Ultimately, you just want to get your heart rate up and you want to be sweating. So whatever does that for you, happy days. Right, what's it saying? 8 kg kettlebell. I'll keep the rep range the same, 12 reps on each set. Try and step back a little bit further off the edge of this mat. When you pick it up, try and keep your shoulders back, elbows in. Step back. Oh yeah, I'm also wearing compression trousers. Just give me a little bit extra support around my knees really. I could wear knee supports, but actually I try and do it without, because most of these movements, in my opinion, they're like static movements. Your feet are planted. I'm not doing plyometric movements, there's nothing explosive. So I think just by using the compressions and not knee supports, it helps to strengthen my knees a little bit. So, right, that's what I think anyway. Seems to work at the moment. Second set done, 2 more sets to do. 12 kilo kettlebell for 12 reps each side. Got a kettlebell rack around there with, I don't know, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 different kettlebells there, so quite useful when I use them. I normally use them when I'm in outright muscle endurance phase. Just certain workouts. Not every week, but I throw them in there to mix it up a bit, keep the body guessing. Whew. I want to try and make sure the tension is positioned correctly. You don't want it too slack on one side and pulling super hard on the other. You want it even on either side of the band. Right. Get good position. Finding that a little tricky on the balance. Also make sure the band's not twisted behind your knee. That can make it pretty uncomfortable. Right. nearly went on that one. Whew. Right. $16 kg for the final set. God. That felt hard, that last set. Whoa. Legs are feeling fatigued. One side more than the other. Whew. Right. On these lunges, because you're doing one side at a time, you could literally just do left leg, right leg, grab the new weight, go straight into left leg, right leg, change the weight, left leg, right leg. Because in theory, you know, while your right leg is working, your left leg is resting. To some degree anyway. Although the way that we do it with the bands, both legs are really working. They're just working different parts when you're doing these movements. But that's the way you would do it normally. If you're working one side at a time, you can basically just keep rocking through the work, like the routine, without any specific rest periods. Because, as I say, once one side is working, the other side is recovering. And when that's working, the other side is recovering. So you're always getting rest period on each side, but you can be continuously working your body. I have a feeling this might be quite hard. I am feeling exhausted. It's probably due to the time of the day, and actually this is my second workout today. I did quite a brutal forearm workout. Might not sound like much, but it's pretty tough. But we have a goal to reach, and only a certain amount of time to get there. So I've got to put the work in. Right, 12 reps. Pick up these weights, make sure you got it straight back. I have this tendency to round just because I've got pain in my lower back all the time. It's like I'm trying to offset. Constantly got to remind myself. It's like a deadlift. Hip hinge, drop down. Even though I don't really do deadlifts anymore. The risk reward is not there. Not anymore, not at my age. 12 reps. Right. It's always good sets. When I come out of them, no injury. Fingers crossed. And then it's going to be the final exercise. 35 minutes in now. And this is, what am I doing? Oh, sorry, I'm trying to look at my workout program on the computer screen. Got a bit of blurred vision. I think these are, well, these are definitely for your adductors, goblet squats, sideways squats. Right, I just need to get one piece of equipment in order to help me. If you were on a very smooth surface and you just had socks on, you could definitely do this. I'd probably still recommend having a shoe on the foot that's fixed, but the side that slides out, you could have a sock and just slide over the smooth surface, and then you pull in with your leg and you're working the inside of your leg, your adductors. Adductors, D for down, and then the outside is the abductors if you're pulling out. Right, give me a second. Right, I find this is quite useful. You can use them for press ups. I don't use these ones for press ups, I've got other ones. I just pop the top off, and you got that. Got rollers on it. So, I don't really like these, it's got to be said, but good way of, for me, finishing off and just getting a bit of extra work in. I find them a little bit awkward, especially when I'm starting off, because I'm not overly flexible in the side split movement pattern. Right, maybe I'll do it this way first. So I'm essentially squatting down on this leg, sliding this leg out as I go down, and then pulling this leg in order to get the upward motion. I'm not trying to push off the static leg, I'm trying to pull in off the moving leg. So I'm using the inside of that leg, the adductors. Right, just 12 reps each side. But you want to keep all your weight over the static leg and make sure your knees are going outside of your feet to prevent any injuries. Switch over. Again, inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. This is one of those movements. In theory, you can just keep rocking through them. Although I do find them quite tiring, especially at the end of the workout. music playing. So bear with me just a second. Mash out posse, always good. Get the blood flowing. I'll try and do it at a slight angle so you can get a bit more of an impression how I'm doing it, how I'm leaning. It's a bit awkward because it drops down at the edge of this mat and I don't want that bump effect as my foot drops off. Then I've got to try and pull it back over a slope. So I'll angle it as much as I can. It might be alright going sideways, I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll do it like this. Oh, on that. Maybe come across a bit. So you pull. I find it quite taxing. One more set. See, my feet will become a bit out of alignment there. Just fatigue. Wash that knee. Right. That's it, done. Now you could do what would be best to do, a bit of static stretching at the end of the workout, whether it's simply, you know, stretching out those quads, touching your toes, holding the stretches. Try and hold them for like 30 seconds, each leg. That'll shut the muscles down, enable the blood flow that's built up in those muscle groups to be redistributed to your vital organs and areas of the body that you need it. So you can avoid what they call blood pooling. Now, it probably won't be an issue, but it's always worth bearing in mind. Movement-based stretching before you start, static stretching when you finish. So static stretching is when you hold a stretch, as it sounds. There's no movement, you're just holding it, getting that stretch on, wait 20, 30, 40 seconds, a minute. It doesn't really matter how long you hold it. The longer the better actually. The longer you hold it, the more likely it will really stretch you out, and you'll get some permanent elongating of those muscles, which is a good thing. So you're more flexible, you'll be stronger, you'll be less susceptible to injuries, all the good stuff. But before a workout, get yourself warm, do a bit of dynamic stretching, some movement-based stretching. If you've got a foam roller, roll your legs out a little bit. Don't have to do too much, but roll it out a little bit. That's essentially dynamic stretching. So, and something that worked to great effect when I used to work in strength training phases. My ability to lift an extra 10-15% on my 1 or 2 rep max was markedly improved when I did foam rolling beforehand, as opposed to not doing it. So it definitely has an effect, but just a good thing to have in your arsenal. If you ever get any little niggles, it's like having a masseuse in your pocket to a certain degree. There's other little tools that you can use as well, but it is great. Get yourself a foam roller. But yeah, that workout, all the working sets were done in 45 minutes. And yeah, let's come back next week and see if we can repeat it or increase it. Hopefully, add a little bit on. But yeah, I'm sweating heavily. I think the highest my heart rate went to in that workout was just over 150. So, not too bad. Might have been a bit higher while I was actually doing some of the sets. I always looked just after I'd finished. So, but yeah, if this helps anyone, great. As I say, it's really just documenting my workouts that I'm doing on the lead up to getting to my holiday in August away with the family, and trying to strip some of the belly fat down. So yeah, here's to that. Now I'm off to eat. You've got to eat straight after a workout, or your metabolic rate is through the roof. Your body will absorb all of that. So I've got a nice piece of salmon tonight. Probably do a little bit of rice with it, avocado, broccoli. What else am I having? Bit of beetroot, bit of spinach. That'll be it. Bit of olive oil, salt, vinegar, all that good stuff. Maybe a bit of balsamic on there. And yeah, that'll be my last meal of the day. And that'll be meal number 5. And I've also had 2 snacks in the day as well. So yeah, I'm trying to put on weight and then look to strip down. But yeah, I definitely want to bulk, because before I started, I was 75.9 kilos on Monday 10 weeks ago, and now I'm 82.7 kilos as of yesterday, which would be Monday the 19th of May. So aiming to get up to, I don't know, anywhere between 85 and 88 kilos, and then I'll do 4 or 5 weeks of intense sort of muscle endurance work with a big focus on leg workouts, and I will start to cut the carb intake down massively and I'm going to see if I can force my body into ketosis, really, so it starts burning the fats off my body. But I'm not sure I can keep it below 50 grams of carbs. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. I'll see what I can do. But also, I don't really want to lose lots of weight. I wouldn't mind getting myself back down to 83, 84 kilos, assuming I get above there. But, you know, pretty lean. Not super lean, but lean enough, maybe 10 to 12% body fat. I don't think I'll do that by August. But if I get close to 12%, happy days. I've got a ways to go. It all seems to have added onto my belly over the last 4 years of inactivity. So yeah, we got a bit to burn. Anyway, take care, have a good one. See you on the next video.